There are so many cars. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, as you can see in the title, is the pros and cons of taking A-level art. A-levels are the 2 years in education after GCSEs, so they're when you're between 16 and 18 typically. When I did my A-levels, one of the subjects I took was fine art. So in this video I wanted to share my experience of taking art at A-level and the pros and cons of that. So let's get started. For a bit of background, I did art and design at GCSE. I really enjoyed it. I didn't originally take it further at A-level. I took creative writing originally instead because I am obsessed with writing and English. And everyone said, oh, but you're really good at art, you should take it at A-level instead. And so I was like, okay. So last minute before I started college, I switched to fine art. And overall, I did really enjoy it. And the thing I took most out of it was the knowledge, just everything I learned. I learned so much at A-level. Yeah, it was mixed. So I'll go through the pros and cons that I have written down for you. Am I in focus? Yes. Still getting used to this. Okay, so first positive I've written down is, in my opinion, it's a very fun subject. And especially if you've got good teachers. The teachers can really make it, I think. Luckily my teachers were really good. I mean, I don't really want to say anything too much, like, in public on this. You don't know who watches. But my teachers were really good. The whole way through. I mean, there are a few, like, you know, annoying things, but overall it's a very fun subject. So, negative. The workload is massive. I'm not going to lie. I've written down that the workload is huge and that you can get behind quickly if you're not careful. So the step from GCSE to AS, because in year 12 you do AS level and then you switch to A level in the second year. AS, I didn't find that bad, to be honest. I didn't find the step from GCSE to AS that big. I really didn't notice much. It was just like different styles and the different teaching ways. Yeah, it was different, but not massively. And then A level, so the second year, oh my god, I was not prepared for the workload at all. I was doing okay, to be fair, and then, I don't know, a lot of things happened in my personal life that did contribute to me getting quite behind. You really just have to keep a good schedule of making sure you've got everything done and have the specification out all the time, make sure you ticked off everything on the list, and yeah, so the workload is really big. Okay, so second positive that I've written down is there's no revision, which is good if you're not into revising. I don't really like revising. I was never that good at revising for GCSEs and maths and stuff, and to be honest, I didn't revise that much because I just don't like revising. So positive is there's no revision because in the exam it's practical, coursework's practical, there's no revision, which is really great. And okay, so negative. You have to put a lot of hours into it. There's a lot of hours worth of work, very time consuming. You sometimes might have to stay behind at college, quite a lot of times have to stay behind at college, and you have to do so many hours of work at home, and you really just have to dedicate your entire like being to it. Especially if you get behind like I did, it becomes a huge chunk of your life basically. Another positive though, despite the briefs and topics that you're given, you can still be very creative with it. I mean, obviously because it's art, but you can still be super creative with it, and it's a very flexible subject. I'll give you an example. For our exam topic at the end of year 13, that was environment this year for the exam board I was on. So for those amount of months we had to work in the brief environment, and you know, I'm sure the exam board aren't always that great with the topics, but environment was so flexible. Like, you could do anything with environment. You could do like landscape, humans in their environments, You know, you could even go into like animals, nature. I did because I really like animals. You can do loads of things with environment. So that's just an example from my experience. I feel it's really, really flexible, even though you still do have to stick to a brief. And another negative, you have to do things that you don't really like. So especially when I first began in year 12, there were a lot of things that I didn't like that you kind of had to do to get through the first couple of months. Yeah, another positive. You learn a lot about yourself and your skills. So I learned so much about myself as a person taking A-level fine art. It tests you, you know, not always in good ways, but I feel like overall that's a positive because you really do learn a lot about yourself and how you react and work and express yourself. You learn a lot of new skills. Like, I've learnt so much. I've learnt new mediums to use. I've never really previously worked with palette knives, and I love doing palette knife paintings now. I wouldn't trade anything for the skills that I've learnt, so definitely a positive. Negative, the exams. In the first year at AS, the exam is 10 hours long over 2 days. And then in year 13, it is 15 hours long, spread over 3 days. Yes, that's a huge exam, 3 days of your life that you'll be sat inside, stuck behind a table or an easel. It's a really long exam, 15 hours, and it goes, it's long, but it goes by so quickly. I still get so frustrated thinking about it because I remember the second day I wasted so much time because I was thinking and planning, and I should have just been like really going into it, and you waste a lot of time even though it sounds like a long time. 15 hours goes by so quickly. The last positive that I've written down is that you get to travel a lot and study for it on locations. I mean, this differs with different colleges and centres and schools and stuff, but at my place there was a trip to Paris and there was a trip to Holland and possibly like somewhere else, I can't really remember, but they were like the two main ones in art anyway. Yeah, you get to travel loads and study on locations, so we went to many museums, which is always really nice. And the last negative that I've written down is that it can be extremely stressful. I've also written down creative blocks, they kind of come together. I had so many creative blocks in the second year, and it's so painful because people think you're being lazy or you're trying to get out of the work, and it's so frustrating. If you come across a creative block, there's not much you can do. You know, you have to wait it out, to be honest. And I mean, if there's a deadline coming up, you really just have to, even if it's a shite drawing, do it, stick it in the book. I mean, I don't know, it was a creative block. It can be very frustrating and stressful, so definitely a negative of taking art. I hope I've been helpful in some way or you've enjoyed watching this at all. Thank you so much for watching, and subscribe, pressing the button, I don't know where it is, somewhere. Please subscribe to my channel if you're at all interested. Watch my introduction video if you're wanting to know what I'm going to be doing on this channel and things. Give this video a like if you want to, and I apologise for any noises outside because my windows are slightly open and cars are going by, so yeah, sorry if that was a bit loud. But thanks for watching, I'll see you in my next video and have a great day. Bye!